Okay, I've got the work up here, Addie, Jessica, and Teresa. Thank you so much for submitting. We're going to call you guys Team Teresa. Since Teresa is your team lead, we'll go ahead and call you guys Team Teresa. So let's go ahead and start. Now, I think I've been reading through this for a while. I've been really studying it, and I got to tell you something. The problem, solution, and features is exquisite, just absolutely fantastic. And it's very succinct and very direct, and it describes exactly what the project is about. So this is excellent. I think, especially as it will transition quite nicely into a portfolio presentation. If this piece makes it into your student portfolio, I can see a portfolio reviewer or potentially a hiring professional looking at this in a portfolio interview and looking at this work and really understanding the concept and the objectives associated with the project. So great job. Problem, solution, and the features page is great. I want to address these. Okay, so before we get familiar with the actual models that are available, I recommend we start with some sort of a questionnaire so that we can isolate the preferences, personal preferences, as well as the physical stature to a specific model. Okay, so for example, I'm 6'2", about 205 pounds. So for me to try to get in a little tiny compact or subcompact car is not a very comfortable thing. Okay, I'm not real familiar. I do have a Mazda. I have a CX-5, which is a pretty decent sized car. But if let's say it was a CX-3 or one of the smaller models, if I walked into a dealership and said, "Hey, I'm interested in that CX-3," they're going to look at me. They're going to see 6'2", 205, and they're going to go, "Oh, absolutely, right?" Instead of saying, "Well, this model might be a little small for you." Conversely, my tiny little wife would try to go into a dealership and buy some giant SUV, and she's barely 5'2", so she can't drive a big giant truck, but sure, they're going to sell it to her, right? So my point is that we start the whole process with a questionnaire determining your physical stature, your driving habits, your driving preferences to give a good match to the vehicle, to eliminate vehicles that might not be suitable for you, which will eliminate the buyer's remorse that you talked about. And I think that was, where is that? I forget where the buyer's remorse you talked about, but that's an excellent point. Okay, so we're going to eliminate that completely by starting with a questionnaire. Think about it. Then we become familiar with the models by selecting different models. All right, so let's try your financing options. Excellent, excellent. Get insurance quotes. I love it. I love it. That's really fantastic. Nice addition. Explore options and build a vehicle based on. And this is pretty much the meat of the matter here is explore options and build a vehicle. Okay, view dealership inventory to find vehicles similar to the build. I would say not only the dealership inventory, but all of the dealerships within a, I don't know, 75-mile or 100-mile radius, because the dealer, once you order the vehicle, if that vehicle is sitting on the exact vehicle you want is sitting on a inventory in another dealership, they can ship it over. Okay, so that would be after, of course, a test drive of a similar model, right? So after you would actually order the car. Then this is great. Export your vehicle build options and financing insurance information to the dealership. Absolutely. But would it export it to the dealership? Then when you say export to the dealership, you're kind of alluding to the fact that this is a mobile process. And it can be. It can be. The actual build itself can be a mobile process. But let me just get to that in 1 second. Utilize a VR approach. Absolutely. I love it. And then contact the sales to finalize the test drive and then get with finance people to get that solidified, right? So, financing insurance. What was I going to say? View dealership. Okay, so okay. Let's get into your sketches, and then I want to talk about this thing that I said about maybe starting with a mobile app. Well, let me talk about that now. Okay, since one of these, I think we did have a mobile app, yep, right here. So we start with an iPad, we start with a mobile app, an iPad or a phone, right? Or even on your computer, right? And you can start your build right there. So you start your build, and so we have two different ways, interfaces, and they're connected together. We have the mobile app, which connects with the kiosk. Don't forget the assignment is for a kiosk. Configurator kiosk, which is presumably located in the dealer and able to be removed from the dealer or travel to like auto shows and things like that, right? But that doesn't mean you have to go to the dealer to start your build. You can start your build on the mobile app, right? My dogs are going crazy. Dogs are at the studio with me today. So we have this. where was I? So we have the mobile app, right? So you can start your build on the mobile app in the comfort of your own home. You can complete your build on the mobile app where all of the choices are made right there. You can even do your finance options, check your tires, what tires you want, what options, blah, blah, blah. Build the whole thing, then send it to the configurator at the dealership. Eventually, you got to go to the dealership, right? So you go to the dealership, and that's where the magic starts. You go into the configurator room, and your information is sent from mobile to the configurator in the dealer, and then you can start doing the VR. So if there's goggles, you can feed the information into the kiosk at the dealership, and then it would take over and build the vehicle and maybe project a holographic life-size model of the car, 360. You can walk around it, look at it, or a holographic projection or virtual reality with goggles where you put them on, you send the information to the build, you get to the dealership, that the computer takes the build, builds it out, you put virtual goggles on, and there's your car, right? You can walk around at 360 and check everything, all of your features, right? Then we can take that a step further and connect that to a simulator. So now we have build it at home, check it out, visualize it at the dealer, and then send that information to a simulator where you can actually sit down in an enclosed simulator, 360 projection, and do a test drive, simulated test drive with different features, different tires, different transmission packages, etc., different road conditions, etc., right? So, so everything is tied together. And that's what I'm after. And I think that's what we should be after in the project. So this is really a soup to nuts a plan for changing the way folks drive cars. I don't think it's enough to say, okay, let's design a configurator, right? So deep dives indicates and really predicates to a high degree that we don't just design something, we design something with the intent of making a change. In this particular case, we're not just designing a kiosk, we're changing the way people drive. Order cars and purchase their cars, okay? So think about that when you're moving forward. Think about tying everything together, getting everything integrated, all of your ideas, and then add features, right? That's what deep dive is all about. Take this presentation to your, each of your team members, take it to your family, take it to people your coworkers, anybody maybe somebody who's just purchased a car, and get their input, right? And add features. What do you think could go on? Describe to them what the features are. So what do you think you could add? Get as many ideas as you can. That's deep dive, okay? Let's get to the sketches. So we have, this is a handheld tablet. Okay, so that's the interface for the handheld tablet. That's what I was saying. So you start at home, right? Send it to the kiosk. Excellent. And then the driving simulator. You guys got it, man. You guys are paying attention. I love this. Add a screen, features. Then it's a wall screen kiosk. Okay, excellent. So wall screen's great, but is it as engaging or as immersive as let's say a holographic projection? Do you see what I'm saying? And then we have, Addie's initial iPad, the kiosk, and then this is the build out as it would be seen through the interface. Then we have the configurator sitemap. Okay, so guys, this is good stuff. So the configurator main page. Okay, so this would be applicable to the mobile, right? The mobile app and the kiosk. So let's say you don't have a mobile app and you don't start it, you can still go to the dealership and do the whole process from the kiosk, right? So would the screen in the kiosk be the same series of screens for the mobile app for the configuration? That's a really, really important consideration. Configurator, map, vehicles, excellent. All right, good. The build out, excellent. Then we have our wireframes. This is great stuff, guys. So I'm just really super pleased at this point. Fantastic job. Team Teresa, fantastic job. I love it. Okay, keep paying attention, guys. You guys are on top. Any questions at all, please let me know. But let's keep on working. We've got work due Sunday, don't forget. And then we'll take it from there. At this point, guys, I know this is this project is a little bit difficult to wrap your head around. I get that. That's kind of what deep dive is. You don't start with a direct path in deep dive. You kind of start with an idea and just kind of start working things. So we really don't have structure in deep dive until, a third of the way through the process. But then when we do structure things, that's when the magic starts happening. That's when deep dive really, design thinking really start taking over and allowing us to change human habits per se, as opposed to just designing something. Okay, I'm over 10 minutes. I did not want to do that, but I did, of course, want to be as thorough as possible. Team Teresa, thank you guys. Fantastic work. Any questions at all, please let me know. Thanks, guys.